Rolling.
I didn't see no light.
Rolling.
Take
Two. All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving. Blah, 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 blah.
Take 3.
All right. Hi. Welcome to our cooking experiment here. My name is Bob Mann, and this is my sister,
Candy.
Candace Andrews.
But for this, I can be Candy.
She's Candy. Our mom was Glenn Andrews, who was a remarkable woman. She produced radio shows. She produced the Frankie Avalon show and a James Beard cooking show for ABC Radio. She even had a racing column. She was an editor, horse racing, which was in a magazine that actually had women's naked torsos in it.
It did?
It did, yeah.
The racing form?
It wasn't in the racing form. It was in the Star Chronicle. Terry's Tips. And I saw Terry's Tips, not Mom's. But she's probably best known for writing cookbooks. We grew up in a working kitchen, and here's actually some of Mom's cookbooks. Her first one was Impromptu Cooking, a free and easy approach to cookery, guaranteed to turn nervous Nellies into ad-lib gourmets. This is what we're going to be cooking from today, which is mood food. A galaxy of feasts to calm you down, cheer you up, warm your cockles, excite your palate, comfort, soothe, and delight you. And so we'll be cooking something out of that.
I just wanted to mention that the camera has a red light flashing.
Right, that red light on that one means that it's working.
Excellent. But also, Mood Food was written in the 70s, and it's just very 70s-ish, and she was the first person to put the idea of moods and foods together.
Right.
I think actually Mom gave birth to a whole generation of people with eating disorders.
Right, yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Our family did our part.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it actually had an index by food and by mood.
Yeah, and you can look up the mood. When delicacy is what's needed, lemon gelato.
When you can't sleep.
When you could use something hearty.
And just let the when you can't sleep note that hot buttered rum is in there.
So is tea with rum.
Yeah.
So is rum.
So is rum. Then her next book was, so we're going to come back to mood food.
Definitely.
Next book was Food from the Heartland. She also did a lot of pamphlets on like cooking with different foods. And actually, if you go to Amazon and you put in Glenn Andrews, G-L-E-N-N Andrews, you will find her page, and you can order some of the pamphlets. And also, this is the book that's still in print, Encyclopedia Brown Takes the Cake, written with Don Sobel. And it's Encyclopedia Brown. Everyone's favorite Sherlock Holmes in sneakers is back. And this time, he's not just solving mysteries. With each case he cracks, he's cooking up delicious recipes, and you can too. So for today, today is Thanksgiving, 2014.
I loved that book.
You did?
A lot. Because I was young, and I loved Encyclopedia Brown.
And there's generations now that still do. We actually, every quarter, we get tiny royalty checks. From
tiny? They're huge.
They're the big checks with a little bit of money in them. But Mom died about 8 years ago, and 8 years ago?
Yeah, actually.
And we miss her terribly, especially, I don't know, for me, it's you know, anytime I'm cooking or for years after she died, I would be standing in a grocery store, because she would always be my go-to, and I would be like, what am I going to cook, or how would I cook this? I'd call Mom and go, okay, I'm wanting to cook for someone, and I've got this and this and this, what goes well with that, and so I miss having that call.
You know what I do now is I call Katie, our sister who's not here, and she's probably not watching this either.
No, by now she is. If she started to watch this,
she's taking a nap.
She's taking a nap.
Yeah. Which means we get to talk about it all the way.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
What a delightful sister she is.
Anyway, I will call Katie from the grocery store or whatever, and I say, how do I cook that? And she says, oh yeah, I remember feel like I have to call
So
her.
the legacy is
ritual.
still there, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So today is Thanksgiving, and we're going to dispense with the kind of turkey thing.
No turkey.
No turkey. And we're going to cook, really, it's probably one of my favorite meals that she has ever cooked for us. You know, growing up in a kitchen, growing up with a working kitchen where Mom was writing these cookbooks.
Is working, by the way, is working a synonym for dirty?
No. But I mean, it was an experimental kitchen. And so
Yeah,
science is messy. Science is messy. But so really, there would be times a year you would not get the same meal twice because she was experimenting with different recipes. And then for our birthdays were special days. You could actually
really good.
Get whatever you wanted. So for me, I used to go to New York City and would eat at the Russian Tea Room, and they had chicken Kiev. And I absolutely loved it. I used to go there with my dad. And so Mom would actually cook chicken Kiev, which can be a laborious thing. And she reminded me of that, but she was always gracious and cooked it, and it was always incredibly lovely. So what did Mom do for your birthdays? I
would start with breakfast, which Mom would always make what I wanted, which was always Candy's pancakes. I think that recipe is in this one or the other book. Which are just pancakes with blueberries in them, pretty much.
Okay.
Or blueberry blintzes.
You should have, really, I think that should have been trademarked back there, so that anytime anybody had blueberry pancakes after that, you could have gotten some money.
Damn it.
I don't think it works that way.
Oh, hindsight.
Yeah.
But what was also so remarkable about it was that Mom would be up for breakfast.
Right. And well, she worked in the city. I mean, she was always working.
Oh, yeah.
A working mom, yeah.
But no, later in life.
Right, yeah.
Because I'm way, way younger than my brother. So anyway, then I would always have Blusagen kufti. And it is laborious again, but so good.
Yeah.
So good, and it's just so special, and when we talk about it, nobody knows what we're talking about. It's our own little...
It's our thing.
Yeah.
So let me read kind of so in Mood Food, one of the things about it, and really her other books too, there's always little stories with it, maybe personal stories. This one doesn't have as much, it's kind of a generic...
Cheers.
Cheers. But so let me, Blusagen kufti, this Armenian supper is one of the favorite dishes of all three of my children, even the ones who tend to be difficult about food.
Wonder who that was.
I don't mind it a bit myself, and my husband, that was Clark Andrews, also an author and worked in radio and movies, gobbles it down with the best of them. It's an egg and lemon broth.
He always called it, he had a funny name for it too. He never could say Blusagen kufti. He called it like, that Kafka stuff.
Kafka-esque, yes. It actually turns into a cockroach at the end. It's the egg and lemon principle carried to full meal heights, and it's fairly easy to cook and unbelievably easy to eat. Yeah, you're going to see it's, well, yeah. And here's that pro tip for you guys. When you're going to go ahead and cook a meal, it's good to have all the ingredients. I will go ahead and say now that there were multiple trips to the store today, but all with love and all with a caring heart.
Love.
Well, I love
yeah,
this. I love that she went to the store 4 times.
The dollar store was open on Thanksgiving. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, but it's with ground lamb, onion, parsley, rice. You can use
that's not
making meatballs, and it's actually you can use basil or mint, and we always use basil, eggs, flour, beef broth, and juice of lemon. So we've got everything together, and I guess we're going to go ahead and get started.
I just wanted to say that I did not get the lamb at the dollar store.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, I bought that.
Because we're going to be eating this, I'm very pleased to know that it was not done. Dollar store lamb is, that's kind of oxymoronic. So you start by mixing together the lamb, onion, parsley, rice, and basil, salt, pepper, and one of the eggs. So let's get started.
Okay. So you've gotten things kind of put together?
Yeah, I watch TV, and that's how they kind of do that stuff. We've got it like...
So cool.
You can see I've actually got everything in its own little receptacle here. Ooh. Yeah, and I actually prepared the eggs.
Eggs.
So let's get a mixing bowl.
Okay, they're up here.
Okay.
Nice to have a tall person around.
So that's a mixing bowl, not a dog food bowl, right?
Either or.
Yes, today. Okay, so we're going to mix in, and we washed our hands. That's something, another pro tip, good idea.
Mom never washed her hands. I don't know why we would bother.
Yeah, but we're going to.
And Mom always cooked with a lot of butter.
And gusto.
And the butter, and gusto. And the butter and gusto would be all over the surface of everything that she touched.
And so we learned to clean up a kitchen pretty well.
Oh, my goodness. What was child abuse? Someone called that?
So we're mixing together. You want to call out to me the... So we're mixing the...
So you're going to put in all the rice.
All the rice.
And all the lamb.
So that's
all the onion.
How much rice is that?
I think it's a quarter cup.
Quarter cup of rice?
No. Yeah.
Half a cup of fresh parsley.
And it's not minute rice. That is regular
rice.
And it's white rice.
Right. And then minced small onion.
Yeah.
Probably could have minced a little bit.
Oh, that's not really minced.
Well, it's cut up into little chunks. It'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a whole onion.
Not a whole onion. Well, it's small. And then 1 egg. There goes the egg. And the salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm. Did I put those away somewhere?
Probably. Why don't you get that, and I'll put in the parsley. I mean the basil.
You know, Mom actually has salt and pepper to taste. She says that a lot in a lot of her recipes.
Right.
And I often skip it. But now I realize those are really essential steps. And if you think like, oh, people can just add salt later, you really should put a little bit in because it's
so
really,
we're using fancy,
really makes things better.
Pink salt. Real depth? I haven't used it much.
No, just any salt.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would leave it out a lot of times altogether.
And so
no one
I wish I could tell you that it was the easiest thing to do was to use a spoon, but really the easiest thing here is to go ahead and use your hands. And so I'm going to bite that particular bullet.
Well, you've got big man hands.
Big man hands.
Man hands. M-A-N.
Oh, I get it, because it's my name. Right, okay.
Well,
you know, it's actually funny because I have not had this meal in probably 20 years, and I've not cooked it in about that many times.
Really?
But just doing this right now brings back just kind of visceral memories of being a kid and helping out cooking. Wow, that's wild.
wow, that is really neat. Well, later
And
on
so
in
basically, you're
today's
mixing up. Go ahead.
later on in today's program, I'm going to recount the story of when I made this for Christopher Reeves.
Wow.
He really liked it. And he did not go horseback riding right afterward.
And he thought it was super, right? Sorry about that. Okay, so now what's the next step? Is this sufficiently mixed up? I think so.
You know what? Actually, I think we should have put together... Yeah, now we have to make the beef broth in the pot.
Okay, we're going to get that going.
We're going to have cups of beef broth.
Okay. So at this point...
The dollar store was
Right.
selling beef broth. Awesome. But you can also use bouillon cubes. I don't think this is good, but you can do it. You can also use chicken broth, but don't.
Right.
Oh dear. This is some new thing.